Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everybody? What's going on, Chip? Man, tonight we're diving into a timeline of power, survival, and truth. Chip and I were just talking about the anniversaries. 2 years ago, XRP was declared, guess what? Not a security. Not a security. A legal earthquake that is still shaking the crypto world today. And we're going to see some great results as some of these bills get passed and we see clarity for cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
1 year ago today, Trump survived an assassination attempt in Butler, PA. Then 4 months later, he won a big election. You guys know that one. And this isn't just about dates on a calendar. It's about movement, courts, on the streets, in blockchain, a lot of great things that are going on. We're going to deep dive all of it. So if you're ready to kick this thing off,
let's go. Let's see.
go.
Let's go. Yeah.
And shout out where you guys are tuning in from. What part of the world?
Yeah, where are you?
What
Come
city,
on. Where are you coming?
state, and country. How about that?
OTC. OTC. Yeah, where are you coming in from? Hey, my. I'm awake. Well, that's good.
Celebrate good times. Come
Good
on.
to be awake, just as long as you're not woke, if you know what I mean. If you know what I'm saying. Jeff,
So far, we've got Belgium to New Zealand. That's what we got
pretty
going.
good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're on it.
It's about facts.
It's about receipts, man. Bring in the receipts. You got to bring the receipts.
Man, look
That's
at
what
this.
it's all about. I'm tempted to press that red button. I don't like it.
I know. I don't like the red button down there. Utica. Check it out.
New York. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
The socialist state of Washington.
There you go. Livernois and Big Beaver.
Livernois and Big Beaver.
You know what exit that is?
Exit 69.
That's right. Troy. I used to live right off that. I used to live right corner from that exit.
That's right.
I lived in Troy for about a year.
And coming from down under.
Yeah.
Deep dark Yowie land.
Like that. I like the sound of that. And indeed, I like the sound. I like the sound of that.
Where are we going to start? Where do we want to kick this thing off?
I think we're going to start with we're going to start talking about this. I saw this blow up all over the place, but Moon Lambo put this up. He's like, happy XRP Victory Day. What is he talking about? 2 years ago today on the 13th. I remember I called Jeff. I'd heard about it and we were chatting about it. It was on a Friday. It was right around 11 or 12 o'clock. Talked about an hour. XRP was declared not a security by Judge Annalisa Torres. And that was during the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. And for some reason, people have had a morbid curiosity of what goes on with Ripple, even though the case has been over for me for 2 years. XRP was all I was really concerned about. Ripple are big boys. They can fight their own wars. And it was always going to come down to a fine. And so who cares? Now it's going away completely, just kind of like, kind of always thought it would. So it is a day for the history books. There's only 2 cryptos that have legal clarity in the United States. Soon, there will be more once legislation is passed. But right now, there is Bitcoin and XRP. That's it. Bitcoin for the mere fact that you can't go after anybody. You can't subpoena anybody. You can't send a Wells notice. Wells notice from the SEC would be an advance notice that you're in big trouble and it's about to get worse for you. So you can't send a Wells notice. There's nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. At least we don't know. I don't know, Jeff. Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I know what people think it is, but I don't think it is. I don't think anybody really knows.
I don't think we know. And then Tom Emmer put this up. Tom Emmer, who's been on the program. 1 year ago today, President Trump's life was saved from a bullet in Butler, PA. 4 months later, he was elected president by the American people. And now 7 months into his term, he's bringing America into his golden age with countless America First wins delivered. It's actually the 6th month because it was the 20th of January, but close enough. Countless American First wins delivered. Signed, sealed, delivered. Oh, yeah.
Delivered. Signed, sealed, delivered.
That's exactly what it was. And also, you want to know, this is crazy. It seems like there's a lot of stuff that happened on this day. But XRP Cafe put this up. They said not only today is Victory Day, but it's also our birthday. 3 years ago, 2 NFT projects. That was the X Shrooms and Ape Rowboat Club. Our GOAT UX designers, almost real Chris, joined forces to create XRP.cafe. None of us had ever met in real life. We just wanted our NFT ecosystem to succeed. So pouring thousands of hours into our dream, we made it work and we reached the top. Fast forward today, the XRPL is one of the top NFT ecosystems, and our team members have launched many other successful projects on the XRPL. There's First Ledger, there's the Joey wallet, there's RL Tracker, the Jitterbot, GMGM Cafe, which is the merch. Then you got the Honey Cluster X, and then you've got the XRPL CEO, which is a parody sort of a thing. You can be CEO of the XRP ledger. That didn't go over too well with Daniel, who is the self-proclaimed XRPL CEO. And then there's the XRPL guide. So this is all that happened in 3 years. A lot of great stuff. Really great to see all of them moving. They did a lot. I mean, they took a big gamble, and it is a top 10. If you look at the top 10 by purchases, it's in the top 10. And that's pretty amazing feat, because the XRPL was nowhere to be seen when it came to NFTs. So to do that and come along, so a big shout out to XRP Cafe. Great bunch of guys over there. Glad that they're succeeding. Glad that they're doing very well. So, any thoughts on that, Jeff?
I'm glad to see that. It's always good to see some positive development, some positive growth, and see some big anniversaries. So I'm really happy to see this type of development, pulling all this together, seeing the NFT ecosystem. I think it's still relatively small and in its infancy. We haven't really seen the big takeoff yet for the XRPL and NFTs on the XRPL, but it's beginning to gain momentum. Doesn't happen overnight. 3 years in, they're still around. They're still passionate. They're still developing. People are still posting projects on there. That part's exciting. Are they, comparable to where the ordinals are or where the Ethereum NFTs are? Not even close, right? It's just a little decimal point, 0.00 of a decimal point in comparison, but they're getting there, and they just keep knocking off, zeros as they go to see growth and adaptivity, to the space. What I would love to see, though, is I want to see more people within, people keep, and this is really, I'm glad this came up, because I was really thinking about this as I'm watching kind of XRP go up, and everyone keeps talking about targets. And now that there's more FOMO entering the space again, people are like, is it going to hit $5? Is it going to hit $10? Is it going to go to 100? All the FOMO is starting up again, Chip. And I look at it, and people talk about utility, but yet nobody's, you don't see a lot of buying and selling transaction. We don't see a lot of people going out from the community. Again, fractional comparative, people within the XRP space, super outspoken, super passionate, but I don't see a lot of people in the XRP space actually going and saying, you know what, I'm going to support the ecosystem, and they're actively buying NFTs and seeing, and whereas on the Ethereum side, right, you didn't need that kind of momentum. People just instinctively like boom, but even now, beyond the initial hype, the the buying and selling that goes on within OpenSea or Ordinals or Solana, whatever, is massively larger. So what does that tell you? It tells me that people love and are passionate about XRP and the XRPL. They just don't want to invest in buying projects that are being developed yet. It's still in its infancy. We're starting to see momentum. We need to attract more people. We've got the basis, kind of the foundation, the people that were there to help support it all these years and keep it going. We need more people. We need more new investment, and we need to get some passion. So somehow we got to get that passion out there to more Main Street. And then, we're going somewhere. But right now it's exciting, Chip, because we are marking off some anniversaries on the calendar. I want to see it take this and let's get it to the next level. It's going to take a community effort to get there.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jeff. Because a lot of people do say, when's it going to happen? But if you're not, what are you doing to actively support the ecosystem? As builders, come into the space and you actively support projects, this is how it grows. which is why, you know, I'm pretty excited about the ZADA because it does give an opportunity to have a voice to people that they can participate not only in, you know, from the sidelines where we watch stuff happen, you actually make stuff happen. So it's a big deal. But again, you know, buying NFTs, some people have never, we know we've had people here win in the OTC fam. Nobody's first time they ever had an NFT was from the show. They won one. So, you know, exciting. But, you know, there's other NFTs you can go support. Obviously, you know, we have still a bunch available on the Blue Tribe and the White Tribe. The Blue Tribe, we'd love to sell out because it's that close to selling out. The Blue Tribe is that close to being sold out. So that'd be great to just sell it out and be done with it. And you know, you guys can go there and sort of mint one, you know, mint one, or we're getting ready to roll out another project. But yeah, I'd like to see that happen. So I definitely would.
Awesome. Hey Chip, I figured out what the red button is. I was doing some searches and I finally got it figured out.
What is it? Does it exit you?
Yeah, it's the co-host ejection button.
It is not. You liar. Co-host ejection button. Well, I'm not pressing it because it'll totally dump the whole stream and knock me right out. Boom. That's what it is. You're having a good one. You have fun time with that, man, aren't you? Yeah. Look how Jeff starts laughing before he even shows it. He's like already cracking up before he even shows the damn thing. He's like, that's like my wife. But she's going to tell me a joke or something. She already starts cracking up way before. And I know it's coming. You know, I'm like, okay, yeah, or okay. I know that it's coming. What is it? You know, it kind of like works into it. Charles is back. Charles, the winner. Tamarillo. Charles. Yeah.
Joseph's going to win tonight. He's putting it out there. And, you know, if you guys want to see, so it's a big one tonight. Look, it's another Frostbeard. Number 227. Haven't even played the song yet, but his name, wait, I won't tell you his name yet. But that's the guy right there.
Nice.
Wait till you see the song. Yes.
Howard Dean. So hard to get to that before. Yeah.
I don't even know where it is anymore.
Look at Joseph's already shared his wallet. He's already pushing the wallet out there. That's first. Now listen, Joseph, as much as I'd love you to win, if you win, you're going to get us in hot water. Be like, oh, so how did he predict that? He was going to win. I don't know. I just press a button. Nobody knows how it works.
Nobody knows how it works. Nobody
knows like
at
hot
all.
Water will be like the rigged forever. Nonstop. For nonstop would be really so. French Hill, he was on the Sunday shows today, and it was good to see. This is so weird. Like you watch these Sunday shows, they're always talking about foreign policy. It's like blah blah blah. You can totally fall asleep. But French Hill, they asked him a question about crypto, and I was like, okay, let's listen to this. So this is French Hill. Then we got Brian Steele after that. So you're starting to hear this. This was on CBS, starting to hear this more in the mainstream, where before it was like niche type of programs, or they'd kind of talk about outer chatter. But on the Sunday programs, you know, like Rush used to call it Meet the Depressed instead of Meet the Press, Meet the Depressed. So here we go.
So I want to ask you, crypto has been the Wild West, right? In many ways, because
you know, I mean, right off the bat, it's been the Wild West. The tired old leftist narrative. It's been wild, right? It's only been used for nefarious purposes. The only time anyone's used it, Jeff, is to do bad, evil things.
They do bad things.
That's it.
That's right. That's it.
It's right out of the gate. She just starts off on the narrative, man. Deface the nation. That's correct. Deface the nation.
All right, start that one over again.
I want to ask you, crypto has been the Wild West, right? In many ways, because they don't have the same kind of regulation in the digital asset space that there does exist for banks and financial services.
Well, it's funny how she started the question, though. I want to ask you, and then goes into her narrative. So, you know, at least set it up and say, hey, as we've seen, you know, over the past time, you know, it's been a little gray area, blah, blah. At least have that. But it's like, I want to ask you. And then you go into your diatribe, right? Like there's no question at first.
Here comes the question.
Here comes the question.
We think
you've got a few measures coming up this week. How how do you make sure, as you put these regulations in place that kind of help crypto become more mainstream, that it doesn't also benefit some of those on the black market, for example, who use this to evade oversight?
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, what a loaded question, Jeff. Geez, well, how do you do it? Well, I'll tell you how we do it. We do it with KYC AML there, honey. Maybe you've heard of it. You're always going to be able to do that. But if you drop off a $4 billion a pallet in the middle of the night, tell me how you track that.
Yeah. How does that
get
one
tracked?
work?
Are the
Yeah,
bills
how does that
parked?
work?
And how does that spend exactly? How do you spend $4 billion in cash? But don't worry, crypto's evil. Sure.
Or USAID. How about all that money from USAID that has been
Yeah.
going out for years, over year, goes into the hands of who knows where or how. They never track
Casper,
it.
NGO into people's, wallets. I mean, into their family bank accounts, all kinds of stuff. I can't wait till that stuff drips out next year, right before the
God.
midterms. That's going to be fun to watch.
Oh God, here we.
So all of a sudden he's biting his tongue. Here comes French Hill with an answer. Thanks for setting that up. So great.
Exactly. Well, in the work in the Senate led by Bill Hagerty and Tim Scott and Cynthia Lummis on the Genius Act to create a dollar-backed stablecoin, we've heavily influenced that legislation over the 2 years of previous work by the House. And our Clarity Act, which sets up the rules of the road for what's a commodity, what's a security, how to use digital assets, how to store them, how to custody them. These are the rules that will protect consumers, will limit access to our market and our investors from entities outside the United States trying to influence the crypto markets. We have none of that today. What we've had is a mismatch of rules by enforcement in the Biden administration, and I believe the bills we'll have on the House floor this week will protect investors, consumers, and make America, as President Trump wants, a leader in financial technology and crypto and digital assets innovation.
Wait.
She probably came back, but you didn't answer my question. This is great.
Right.
This is how a politician answers a question. I'll answer it the way I want to answer it, and you keep your mouth shut.
Exactly.
She probably came back with, that was the only thing really worth watching right there. She probably came back, but tell me more about, but why is it so bad and evil? And then she brought up Elizabeth Warren there too.
Yeah,
and then we have Brian's.
I want to show this because this is the bill in reference. This is his bill. He's the primary sponsor of the bill of the Clarity Act, right? So he proposed it. Here's the co-sponsors to the bill. And if you go down the list and you see got a bipartisan group of co-sponsors, and when they jumped in to co-sponsor the bill, and so you've got Tom Emmer there. If you've never seen Tom Emmer before, you can go to onthechain.io, do a quick search for Tom Emmer, and you can watch the interview that we did with him. We're going to have to get some of these guys back on. We got to reach out to French Hill actually and bring him in, and we'll talk about the Clarity Act. I think would be really great.
Absolutely.
But again, we go down. Here's Brian Steele, so we're going to hear from him in a minute. Richie Torres, we know. Warren Davidson, the initiator of all these bills with the Token Taxonomy Act. He's the first out of the gate. Josh Gottheimer has been involved quite a bit. Democrat, Huizinga. You've got Zachary, and then you've got. See if there's anyone else that we know that's recognizable, that's been kind of in and around the space. Not a lot of these guys are newer to the space. I mean, in terms of names that you might see join in with crypto, but here's some of the bigger names that we kind of went through. So this is going to be kind of important. We're starting to see some movement, some momentum, and always gain that identifier that there are both Republicans and Democrats that want to see this move forward. Yet there's a lot more Democrats that are outspoken against it, as we talked about yesterday. They're trying to kill it.
Yeah, and I think that there's probably a lot more Democrats who would like to support it, but feel like they can't because of, they don't want to go against the party leadership, which, I understand that too. You're supposed to vote with your party, but something that's bipartisan and it was crafted bipartisan, that's a little bit of a different story. A lot of times these bills are like one-sided, then you're going to vote party. But I don't really get, either you're going to be part of the solution or you're going to be part of the problem, or you are the problem. So I don't understand what you get by not having a bill that at least makes the attempt to put into some sort of a semblance of, this is the rules. They can be changed, but these are the rules and this is how it works. Because right now there isn't really a lot of clarity. You got to go back to the 1940s Howey test. You got to go back to 33, 34 securities law. I mean, it's messy. I mean, we're coming up on 100 years on this stuff. They never envisioned digital assets. They didn't envision all this stuff. So it is really exciting, the fact that it's getting some mainstream play, and also the fact that they pushed that big beautiful bill through, but now they were like, boom, all right, we're jumping on crypto. This is the next big thing. And it's great with the whole stable coin. I understand it was a necessary evil. It does really prop up the dollar, because most of the more well-rounded, I would say, stable coins are backed by the US dollar, but there's been a lot. There's a couple that are backed by euros. There's a couple that are backed by, the British pound. So it really kind of depends, but the predominant one is the USD. But here's Brian Steele.
To actually see 3 pieces of crypto legislation on his desk before the August recess. That's stablecoin market structure legislation and blocking a CBDC being developed at the Fed. As it relates to the first 2 bills, we need to make sure that we stay focused strategically on getting both of those passed and across the line. The House has been hard at work at market structure, even passing a market structure bill last Congress, garnering over 70 Democratic votes on the House floor. The Senate, encouragingly, has begun engaging in this debate very recently. It's positive that we're seeing movement in the Senate in that regard.
Jeff, interesting. 2 things I pulled away from that. Number one, that Trump wants it on his desk before the August recess. We're 2 weeks into. We're 2 weeks into July, so we're talking about this has to get done pretty quick. Trump's already said, "I want it on the desk." He wants to get this accomplished, signed off on before the recess. They'll have 2 giant things under, and also the crypto community would love it. But he also said in there, wasn't just about what Trump said, but he said that the Fed is developing a CBDC. Now, this is interesting. I've heard a lot of conversations, so I've not heard that they're actively developing one, and they couldn't do it without Congress's support anyway. But they just want to make that. Right now, it's an executive order, but they want to, basically codify that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, again, as we're really moving through and making some progress, the facts speed is going to be relevant. I know it's kind of breaking down summary of what the Clarity Act is and how they have to go through and define each component of it, and we have to go and have a clear understanding of what is going into this bill, because of the fact that this is the beginning. This is the initiation. This is the framework. Trump wants it done quickly at this point. And it's not like, again, we go back to the Token Taxonomy Act. It's not like they haven't discussed this before. It's not like this hasn't been in play for a long time. We're talking about what we're going on at least 7 years. I think the first year the Token Taxonomy Act came out was 2018. So we're talking about 7 years of bills being introduced, of formulating, of people. Someone is back there drafting this, and they keep fine tuning it. They keep going back and they keep referencing the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act. And so, as they go through and then having to identify what is a commodity, what is a stable coin, what is a digital asset, who's now going to be responsible for the different components of it. And that's where this becomes really key, because if you can understand and at least have everybody agree on the definition for all the terminology, put that in a bill, have a clear definition of what everything is. Right now, we don't even have that. There is no clarity of definition. We have a legal outset of XRP being declared a non-security, but that's just the beginning. Now take that component, bake that into the bill and then you're going to have subsequent bills following that have a structure around it. We're off to the races. And so that's kind of where we're at this point. You look at some of the terminology, some of the definitions. So here's a definition under the Securities Act of 1933. They get into it, you go through the section of it. Now they have to add blockchain. What is blockchain? How does blockchain become relevant to the equation? What is the application of blockchain? What is a blockchain protocol? What is a blockchain system? What is a decentralized governance system? Nobody has any clue what that is until it's drafted out and everybody agrees to the definition of it. Now that we can have a definition of it, and that's what the clarity bill is all about. We got to clarify these things. If you can't get that on the president's desk before recess, where does that put us? Again, it puts us into 2026. Because, at that moment, they come back from recess, they can start working on it. Then they say, well, we're getting to wrap up. And, do they really go in and start getting interested in this right away? Or does it get pushed? Where exactly does this end up at that point? That's going to be a discussion point.
Yeah, we can go to the comments here. Visual Vendetta says, I think I gotta have to skip my AA class tomorrow. Cryptos are mooning tonight, and I am entitled to a drink. Well, geez, that's horrible, man. So there you go. James L says, if Bitcoin hits 120K during the show, Jeff will have to put that on watch there.
Yes, well,
gonna have to play on repeat the Howard Dean, yeah, which we have that sound. We might have to do that. Chad Nauseum says, you'll know I've made it when I change my avatar to a bottle of 40-year-old Belvini. I like that. I like the sound of that. That sounds very good indeed. Little sippy poo here and there. Gotta love that. Visual Vendetta just let you know, after 120,000 for Bitcoin, it's price discovery, meaning nobody will know how far up from there. And then we're 119 right now, 150 to 180K. Then it becomes liquidity for altcoins, says Chad, which is interesting.
I still think we need more, Chip. I don't think that we're there yet. We have Bitcoin has big mover advantage, has Main Street investment, has financial institution investment through the ETFs. We're not there yet with XRP, and we go back to the fact that we have an XRPL, and we just talked about the XRP Cafe, and we can't get enough utility on the XRP Cafe. How are we going to get significant, sincere movement within XRP when the community itself isn't investing in projects that are being built on? Because then it's 100% a speculative asset, no different than a meme coin, without development, without building, without Main Street adoption of the direction that things are moving in. We have to get more of that. The way that's going to transpire, and Bitcoin's going to keep running. I'm not saying the altcoin market isn't going to follow, because the entire market follows the direction Bitcoin's going in. It's a matter of what, percentage as Bitcoin pull further ahead. At some point, there's going to be some sell-off because they're going to want to capture profits, and then it's going to go back up again. But the next big stage, my opinion only, is Main Street adoption of XRP that's going to come through ETF. And that's also what's kind of driving Bitcoin at the same time, is big Main Street adoption. What's driving Ethereum is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pulling the market, but at least, Ethereum has established a significant base because of the full utility with the ERC-20s and everything else that's happened within the ecosystem. We're just now beginning to see an ecosystem kind of developing around the XRPL. Now that goes to the next level, then we're off to the races. Then the sky's the limit at that point. We know the technology is there. We know that, all of those things. I just believe we need a little bit more. We need more to happen.
I think it's going to, when it runs, it's going to run quickly. It is going to be surprising for a lot of people. I think once it blows past $4, it'll probably hit 5, 6, 7 so fast. It'll just run right up. Because $10, $15, $20 for XRP is it's not a huge deal. And it's going to get there. It didn't have, because of the SEC lawsuit, it really didn't have its proper day to have its all-time high. But I think these ETFs are really going to do more for price action than anything else, because you're going to have so many people from people investing that normally wouldn't invest, right? Or they're going to get advice to invest in it from professionals saying, hey, this is a safe bet, put some of it in this. And now all professionals say at least put 10%. Used to be like 1 or 2%, throw away 3%, but now it's 10, 15% into crypto. So that's, I think, really going to be a big deal in a lot of ways. So, oh, he feels bad for missing out. You get the tension, John Doe. Show up late. Just got here. He feels bad for missing out. No, you're not missing anything. But I'll tell you what you didn't miss. You didn't miss the halfway point, which is where we play the Yeti song. So we're right at 29 minutes in. So it's 30 minutes in. You did not miss that, John Doe.
Holy cow, we're right there. Look at that.
Right
18
there.
seconds.
It's time to play the Yeti tune. This is what everybody comes for and wait. Find out what Badass Yeti you have a chance to win. We have 12 entries, guys. You got to type in Yeti if you want to win. 1 in 12 chance right now. Type in Yeti.
Okay.
If you want to win a Badass Yeti today.
That's right. Here we go. Let's roll it. Here
Let's go.
From the blue tribe.
Word of the day. Yeti. You got your Zama wallet ready? Wow. Cause this is gonna be epic. It's time to claim your legendary blue tribe Yeti
Of the clan.
Frost spirits.
His name Grimner.
Yeah. Grimner. Who wants to win Grimner? We have 17 people. Type in Yeti, Y-E-T-I, if you want a chance. Visual Vendetta said that Yeti is too cute. Some of them are cute. Cute and deadly as well. They're rip your skin right off your face. Not that cute when that happens, but it's possible.
Check this thing out. Man, that's a kick-ass weapon. So like, just shards of someone like an ice stone or something like that. Look at that. And those are sharp.
Punches in your stomach and one of those suckers falls off inside of you.
Man. Oh yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. You kind of go through and it just kind of tears out your guts as you pull it back out. Kind of the ripping.
Jeff, what was that thing they used to call it? The bloodletting, where they put the person upside. Remember on Vikings where they had that? The bloodletting.
Oh, that's right.
Open them up and basically just let their organs sort of like pile out. That was pretty.
Oh God, that was horrible. I remember that.
Graphic, man.
That was really bad.
You know what they called it? The bloodletting. It was really horrific.
I think it was something like that. It was really bad. There you go. This sounds good on my surround sound. It did sound good, man. I was kind of listening and you hear the all the effects and that.
We'll hear that one more time before we roll it. Every Death Star. Every death adds a shard. Yeah, man. Do Yowies eat the Badass Yetis? No, dude, they're on 2 different continents. Come on. I don't know if they're good sailors or not, but I don't think they're aware of each other's existence, Steve, to be honest.
Now, the Yowies are kind of a cousin tribe to the Badass Yetis, because they're the Badass Yowies, and they might even be considered kind of a long lost 5th tribe, because you've got the blue tribe, the white tribe, and then we have the purple tribe, the black tribe. And then you've got the Yowies, then there was always a rumor of a 5th tribe out there, but they kind of disappeared in history. So they could very well be the Yowies.
Well, the thing about it is here in the US, we have the legendary Bigfoot, right? And then the Himalayas, they've got the Yeti. And then in Australia, they got the Yowies, and they're very eerily similar. And so we crafted the Yowie based on a lot of folklore, based on, in-person descriptions of the Yowie, what people have experienced, so that's really what the Yowie is crafted on. That's kind of how we based it on there. So we'll get to the Yowies at some point too. The Yowies it'll be a smaller tribe, but fierce as hell. So that'll be great. There's Yeti. Get your Zaman wallet ready, of course, dude. Those are the extra stuff. And also your X account. We need to know what your X handle is as well. Will I receive a Wells notice if I win a Yeti? No, Mark. Not from us. No, you won't. There's bigger things to worry about.
From Gary Gensler. We're going to we send a list to Gary Gensler just in case.
Got 19 in the drawing. Look at that. Just 19. How about that? No, that song 19. No, 19. 19. Yetis are not securities. They sure are not. They are not securities at all. There's no way they're not even close. So, Jeff, isn't it funny we were talking about Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz?
Mhm.
And dude, out of nowhere, like how weird is it? We never see her around anymore, but of course she had to run to the camera. She must have heard. She must watch us. I don't know. Like I've
she
not
does.
seen her on TV in forever.
And now
She's
all of a
such
sudden
a
she's popping up.
But all of a sudden she's popping up. It was so weird. Like we just talked about her, and I thought it was the weirdest thing. So anyway, this is what she had to say about visiting Alligator Alcatraz. And what that is a temporary holding facility that as they prepare illegals to be sent back to either their home country, another country, basically deported. So it's not a long-term facility. It's not like somebody goes there for a month or two. The whole idea is they need a place to sort of keep people before they get on flights, and they send them out of there. So here we go. Actually, let me see.
Saw the conditions that we saw inside this
Voice is so
internment camp,
irritating.
which it is.
Her voice is so irritating.
Oh God, everything's irritating about her. Everything is
Her
irritating.
look is irritating.
Yeah, and listen to what she's. This is so ridiculous what she's talking about here.
Is nothing less than that description. We're really appalling. I'll walk you through just a few of the really egregious, disturbing, disgusting conditions. They are.
No, by the way, this what she's really describing here is the conditions under the Obama administration, the Biden administration. But okay, let's listen.
Right.
Are using cages. These.
Jeff, who rolled out the cages? It was Obama that rolled the cages.
They're the Obama cages.
That's right. They slept on the floor.
And they're not cages.
Yeah, they're fences.
Detainees are living in cages. The pictures that you've seen don't do it justice. They are essentially packed into cages, wall-to-wall humans, 32 detainees per cage. That is the only thing inside those cages are their bunk beds, and there are 3 tiny toilets that are toilet units that have a sink attached to it.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say.
I mean, she's a nut job, Jeff. I mean, she's an absolute nut job. Yeah, well, here's what's interesting.
Grimner.
yeah, don't be spoiling the Grimner name. All right, so this is so funny because the Blaze Ingoglia, he's a state senator in Florida, and he said, I just finished my walkthrough of Alligator Alcatraz. Here's what I saw. The rhetoric coming from Democrats does not match the reality. The place is well run, safe, secure, clean, and air conditioned. We reviewed the intake area, medical tent, mess hall, recreation areas, and sleeping quarters. I actually laid down on one of the beds, and it was really comfortable. So any complaints about squalor conditions, nothing more than bullshit and political theater. I like Nick Carter, who I've grown to really like his post a lot. He's a Bitcoin maxi, but he's funny as hell. He said, are there any murals on the wall that make it look like a tunnel, but then it's actually a brick wall? Or piano suspended over steaming hot pies? or others such as Wile E. Coyote contraptions?
Oh my God.
This is some good banter right here. Those ones that look like a tunnel and you gotta get through it and hit the brick wall. Or the piano suspended. I don't think there were any of those, but it's a good question to ask. Of course, you want to ask that question exactly how it was. It's really plush. Like they actually have bunk beds in there that you can sleep on. The Biden administration or the Obama is the ones that rolled out the cages. You got to sleep on the floor. The people were sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was the dirt floor. So here they go, and all they have to do is show the video of how it really is versus that. But I saw this, Jeff. Listen to this. Here's a different take right here. Look at it.
There are 3 tiny toilets that are toilet units that have a sink attached to it. They get their drinking water and they brush their teeth where they poop in the same unit. The portions available for employees, large pieces of roast chicken, large sausage.
I have no idea what she's going on about. Large, and it's areas where it's like a prison. I mean, look, you break it illegally, Right. You're not staying there for 60 years. You know, it's not like a prison where your bed is here, you sleep here, your toilet's here, and your sink is there, and that's it. It's a 6x6 cell, 3x6 cell, and that's what you have. This is a little bit more lush than that. I mean, I guess we'll try to find a walkthrough, but I remember seeing it. I was like, yeah, they don't have permanent walls. They're fences, right? So they're fenced off, so people can't get out. If they do, they're going to be greeted by some friendly alligators that are right around the corner. So I don't think there's no escaping alligator Alcatraz. So it's just funny to me how they have to run to the mic. They have to say that it's the worst thing they've ever seen. And if people really care at this point, Jeff, I mean, seriously, given what they've seen, given all the stuff that they know about, I mean, I don't know. I'm really trying to like, who's going to care about? Is everyone going to go, oh my God, I can't believe this is how it is. It's horrible. It's insane. How much can that be?
Yeah, it's I mean, all things considered, these people are in this country illegally. They're trying to process millions of people, and the previous administration, think about all the people that died, the women and girls that were raped, on the way over here because they basically left an open border. They created an environment, for illegal people to, or illegals or people to come over here illegally, enter our country illegally, no checks, no balances, no nothing, just, allow them to come in here. And then think about all the people that have died as a direct result of, and the violence that has been taking place on streets, and, the decrease in safety and security in a lot of areas. But yet they don't want to talk about any of that. They just want to focus in on this. And at this point in time, their primary focus, they want to get rid of the most violent, so they're going to be rounding them up first. But anybody that, came in illegally, they have to figure out a way to process. But we're not talking about 10,000, not talking about 100,000. You're talking about millions upon millions of people that they allowed to come in this country. They're the ones who created this environment. The very Democrat that you just heard from was responsible for allowing this to happen, to get to this point. And now that they're here, I love how they critique it, but they don't want to talk about, they don't have a differing opinion. They're not like, well, hey, let's do it this way instead. How about there's another way of doing it? How about no, their way is just keep letting, illegals come in this country and destroy communities. That's what they want to see happen. If it was left up to them, that we would see happen, as we've witnessed on streets throughout Europe, just devastating streets around Europe, and so do we want to see that similar thing continue here as they allow more millions upon millions? And no, they cut it off here. We're ending it. Nobody's coming in here illegally like this anymore. And those numbers. And by the way, we have to expedite the numbers that they have to get rid of. How else are you going to do it? And it's not like they're putting them out there without air conditioning and saying, hey, good luck in your tent in the middle of the Everglades with the mosquitoes and the alligators. That's not what they did.
Not at all, Jeff.
Come on.
By the way, it's our Alchemist. Look at Alchemist has been seeking treatment for TDS, Trump syndrome, since November. I'm glad he popped back in. This is good to see. Defied death. Laugh my F and A off. Epstein says hello. Laugh my ass off. Well, I got 3.5 years to figure out how that works out. Let's give it some time. But
thank God Alchemist is back. I've missed Alchemist.
I have missed Alchemist too.
I'm glad he's back.
He's back. He's back with a vengeance.
Back.
So I'm not going to play the sound in this, but just look at the right side of the screen here. This is what it actually is. Does that look like anything she described? Look at the bunk beds. I mean, this is exactly what it looks like. I mean, what's the problem? And the guy said, yeah, she described people, they brush their teeth when they poop. And the guy said, yeah, it's called a bathroom. That's how it works. So this is what it is.
Different than an airplane.
Permanent walls, they have this pass-through, cages, a fence. It's fenced on the top, right? So you're inside of there. You get it out. That's it. Nothing like what she described at all. But there you go. She's a little insane. But there it is. There you have it. And then we have Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, this is what it used to look like during the Obama era. That's what it looked like. People on the ground, sleeping on the ground. They're sleeping on gravel.
That's right.
Yeah, it is nicer than when they're going. That's a
But
nice thing.
but they're outside.
Yeah, they're
You
outside.
know, they're
There's
free
nothing-
range,
there's
according
some
to the organic mantra.
right? Free range. I like that. Is that what it's called, Jeff? Free range? I see.
Yeah.
So
Free
they're
range or cage free. Oh, they're cage free, I guess.
cage free.
You know,
Okay, good.
cage free eggs.
Yeah, right.
So free range, yeah. They have range of movement. They're outdoors, getting sunshine.
Yeah. It's incredible, Jeff. It really is awesome. So what else we got here? Let's go look at what else we got here.
And Mark said, and U.S. veterans are sleeping on the streets and not a peep
Correct.
from the communists. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So Joel Katz, better known as David Schwartz, it's his handle. He had said this, Jeff, and I want to get your opinion on what he shared here, because like sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we won't. But here we go. This is a bill in California seeks to address the harmful impacts of companion chatbots. These are AI-powered systems that simulate human-like relationships and provide emotional support. They're often marketed to vulnerable users like children, those in emotional distress. And David Schwartz said, requiring disclaimers around the content and selection of speech protected by the First Amendment is generally unconstitutional. There's no applicable exception here. Thoughts?
I'm trying to think about, the bill itself, and what are the harmful impacts? What does the bill say specifically? What are they trying to do? What are companion chatbots? Who's training the chatbot? And if they're being marketed to children, how are they being utilized specifically? So I don't know enough in and around the chatbot to really, but then David Schwartz is saying requiring a disclaimer around the content and selection of speech. I'm not sure exactly where, what the disclaimer is here. What is the selection of speech that we're talking about? I don't even understand what he's trying to say here, I guess, is my point.
Free speech can't have disclaimers around something that's protected by the First Amendment, is what he's basically saying.
Right, I get that. But what part of the bill or the chatbot, where's the free speech in the chatbot? I'm just trying to figure out what he's trying to apply it to.
They'd have to remind users the start of the interaction every 3 hours. They're talking to a machine, not a person. If they also require to be clear, Jeff, this is like, if you go to Canada, like when I was up there last, my buddy wanted me to get some smokes. You know what they have on the side of this? Black lungs on the side of it. They got they have death. They have skulls and bones. And you know what? Didn't stop one person from buying it. Like, I wonder if that's going to be my lung someday. No, who cares? Like, it's, to me, it's like, if it's passed, it'll be one of the first laws of the company to regulate. But is it regulating it? Is it actually regulating?
It's not doing anything at that point.
Because they want to tell people that you're speaking to a computer. You're not speaking to a human. Right. They can do that every 5 minutes and they'll just think it's annoying, like a YouTube ad.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't really change it. He's just saying that, if it's free speech, it's free speech. And they're trying to put a disclaimer around it. Like, but again,
where's the free speech? They're putting a disclaimer around a product. There's really no free speech because it's a chatbot. It's a product that they're selling specifically. So there has to be a disclaimer around the product. When you sign up for the product, there's already a disclaimer built into it. I don't understand where either side is coming from, I guess. I don't know where these guys are coming from because it's a product being sold that they need to, you need to have a disclaimer on your product being sold. If you're using the product, you should know that you're using a chatbot unless it's being disguised as a human and being marketed as you're talking to a human being. That means that the company is using a product. Why do you need another bill? I'm just like totally clue why you even have to have the bill, because it's a product being sold. There's already laws on the books. And then where's David Schwartz coming in with a free speech buyer? I don't know where any of them are coming from.
Here's a disclaimer on California highway. It's got a picture of Gavin Newsom's face. That's for potholes, sinkholes, and assholes. That's Gavin Newsom right there. So That was well played right there. What you think, Jeff?
Yeah.
I thought that was incredibly well
Yeah.
played. So,
But am I wrong about what those two things? That's why
I don't care anymore. I've lost interest in that.
it's yeah, it's not.
I have more
David
interest in what
Schwartz
Bernie
sometimes doesn't.
Sanders
Yeah.
had to say about his cleaning lady. I thought this was very interesting what Bernie was talking about his cleaning lady here. Strange interaction.
I don't understand why Trump wants to get rid of all these illegals. I mean, have you seen these big booty Latinas? Oh my God.
Jeez.
I got this cleaning lady named Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Biggest booty I've ever seen. I mean, sure, she's got a bit of a mustache going, and yes, she got fat lately, so she's not looking very hot anymore, but we can figure it out, you know?
Jeez. Bernie, I thought you guys were going to be running mates, man.
Oh my God, where do they come up with?
Big booty Latinas. That's insane. So when Reagan was asked about recession, and well, he had a pretty clever answer here. Jeff, look at this. Sam Donaldson asked him the question. Here we go.
Mr. President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past, and you have blamed the Congress. Does any of the blame belong to you?
Yes, because for many years I was a Democrat.
You got to hand it to Ronnie, man. Guy's quick on his feet.
He was always so quick on his feet.
He was always quick on his feet. Yeah, because I mean, Trump could say the same thing. You ever take any blame? Yeah, because I was a Democrat for. I was a former Democrat too. So you could also say that too. Yeah, I guess it all depends.
Hey, Jacob's letter here said children need parents and friends, not chatbots.
That's right, but if your kid's spending 20 hours a day at a chatbot, I mean, I'm sorry, there has to be some parenting coming in there. The one kid, took his life, and the mother's like, he would spend 10, 12 hours a day on that. I'm like, well, how is that possible? Are you the parent, or what's going on here?
Exactly. Yep.
Trump was asked about Rosie O'Donnell, which we put that one out the other day about Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh my
God, he's a big troll. So they asked him about
How
it.
great was
O'Donnell, she went on Chris Cuomo show recently. She blamed you for the fact that she's overweight, depressed, and drunk. What do you say to that? Do you think PDX is going to ever be a GSM 5 dilator?
I don't know about Rosie. I watch Rosie. Rosie's a mess. She's a mess. But she left our country, which is a good thing, not a bad thing.
That's right.
She's a mess. She blames it. She's blaming Trump because she's ugly and overweight. I don't know what she's talking about. Like, what is that whole thing? She's apparently she's miserable in Ireland too. So I don't know. I don't think that worked out the way she thought it was going to work out.
And how does anybody go to Ireland and how can they be miserable in Ireland? You've got good whiskey, you've got great beer, you've got amazing pubs. You can be like in Dublin or in the country. It's her. It's 100%.
Here in the Middle East, it doesn't even seem like Ireland anymore. So I think that's that could be part of it too. Maybe people don't feel all that safe.
But we're talking about her though. I get that part. It's unfortunate Ireland is also imploding. But maybe
she may not want to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Trump was also asked about Dan Bongino, and this was his answer.
Oh, I think so. I did. I spoke to him today. Dan Bongino, very good guy. I've known him a long time. I've done his show many, many times. And he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
He's in good shape. There you go. That's right there from Donald J. Trump. He tells you himself because he didn't give too much away, but I figured he would be talking to him. And then he was also asked about Ukraine.
I have a meeting with the Secretary General who's coming in tomorrow, but we basically are going to send them various pieces of very sophisticated military, and they're going to pay us 100% for them, and that's the way we want it. And we've been trying to get that again. I don't think Biden ever asked for it. We're in for about 350 billion. Europe is in for 100 billion. That's a lot of money, 100, but they should be in actually for more than us. So as we send equipment, they're going to reimburse us for that equipment. Doesn't that sound good? That's the way it should have been a long time ago.
In other words, they're buying it. That's another clever way to say that they're paying for it. They're buying it, so it's not as if they're giving it. And a lot of that stuff is defense. So let's take down incoming missiles. It's not necessarily aggressive stuff. So it's more or less like protection stuff. So it's not exactly, the news sort of leaves that bit of it out.
And I love how Trump, ends things like he puts his he puts his point on it, and he's like, you know, they're at 100, we're at 350. They should be spending a lot more. They should actually spend more than us. Doesn't that sound good? What is someone going to say? No, that doesn't sound good. I'd rather the U.S. spends more, but I like how he puts it back on them. Doesn't that sound good? Let them pay for it, and they're going to pay more because they should be paying more.
Of course they should.
Does that sound great? I mean, come on. They're like so crazy.
This is Tulsi Gabbard, who was speaking this past weekend. Interesting. She had a couple interesting points here.
You think the campaign was hard? You think what President Trump went through was hard? And it was. The road ahead will not be easy. I can attest personally that in my work as the Director of National Intelligence, the deep state is fighting us every step of the way. And it exists within every single federal agency. And so I feel the same frustration that I see many of you expressing on X or in different platforms about why aren't things going faster? Why aren't we getting results more quickly? I feel this frustration every single day. We are pushing hard. Know that they are pushing hard back.
There you go. Kind of like, you know, what we've talked about here. It's not anything that we didn't think. But Jeff, let's go ahead and let's show the video one more time for the Badass Yeti, the Frostbeard, and then we will go ahead and do the drawing. We've got 21 in here, guys. Get the Yetis in there, because as soon as the drawing's up, we're pulling the trigger on that.
Dude, I can't believe how fast the time went.
It was fast, Jeff.
Yeah, crazy fast. Here we go.
From the blue tribe.
Word of the day. You got your Zama wallet ready? Cause this is gonna be epic.
It's
Time to claim your legendary Blue Tribe Yeti
of the clan.
Frost Spirits.
His name, Grimner.
Pretty cool.
On the
Jim
chain.
D says, back in the day, honeymoon, the Jennings family owned Ashford Castle, stayed in the presidential suite. Deegan used an actor John Wayne in Quiet Man filming. That's very cool.
That's pretty sweet. Nice.
Very cool. Grimner's looking really good, says Osmond. There you go. There you go. Get two things ready. Your Zaman wallet along with your X handle. All right, here we go. Go ahead. You want to put the background music? Cue the background music there, Jeff.
Zaman.
23 in here. And here we go. Let's pull. Let's see who wins. Let's go.
On the chain.
Here it comes. Boom. Zed is the winner. Zed is the winner. Zed is a winner. Zed, are you here? We need to hear from you, man. We need to hear from you. Zed, if you're here, we need to hear from you. That's
Zed
right.
was here. Zed was here.
Zed is not indeed dead. We got to hear from you, man.
Scooby Doo got rug pulled.
Got rug pulled again, dude.
Just like that.
Today, Trump, Chelsea won World Club Championship, and he was supposed to just hand it to them and get off the podium. But he didn't. He stayed up. He stayed up there. He was just going to say, like, here, he's there. He presents him with the trophy, and he leaves, right? It's kind of cool to get the president, present you the trophy. But watch what happens. So the other dude takes off. Trump stands there. He's hanging out with all the players. Look at him. He just stands up there. They're all jumping up and down. Look at Trump. Look at him. He's partying up there. They wanted him to go off stage. Look at, they're partying.
Right.
He stayed up there, man. That's
Oh
funny.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That
He
is
stayed
so
up
funny.
there.
Zed, we didn't hear you. We didn't hear from you, Zed.
Trying to get into the YouTube side of
Got a
things.
W Schultz Yeti. Oh no, that's horrible. No offense, Zed. Zed the bad. Zed. Congrats, Zed.
Zed.
I don't
Zed here.
hear anything from Zed.
Trying to get into our chat so I can
I
see
think
if
Zed
he's here or
bailed.
not. No. Zed is here. He already posted his wallet. Zed is here.
Well, he does understand your football because the World Cup will be here next year. So there you go.
Zed,
Does understand.
post your X as well.
Did he post his wallet?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. He did. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't see it show up in here, so that's the other horrible. We saw
See
the
if
other
you
one
can
show up earlier.
post your X.
Okay, good. He's here. Good deal.
Then let me just.
He said he unblocked his address. Okay, good. There you go. There is Zed. Put it up there. Gotcha. So great. Thanks for that, Zed. Also, what is your handle on X? We need your handle on X. Need your handle on X. And while you're doing that, I saw this today, Jeff, and it reminded me it should have been called a liberal instead of how they positioned this, but I would have called it a liberal. And it's the this is the least this is the typical liberal woman in the world. Here we go. Ready?
She stares at orange juice cartons because it says concentrate. She puts lipstick on her forehead to make up her mind. She once took a ruler to bed to see how long she slept. She's a host on The View. She once climbed over a glass wall to see what was on the other side. Her degree in gender studies has not paid off. She got stuck on an escalator during a power outage. She is unburdened by what has been. She saw a sign that said airport left, and she went home. She almost drowned once because someone left a scratch and sniff sticker at the bottom of a pool. She tried to return a donut because it had a hole in it. She wrecked 3 McDonald's because the sign said drive through. She once got a brain worm and it starved to death. She is every woman you have ever met. She believes equal pay means getting paid the same for doing nothing. She got a tattoo of her name in case she forgets it. She studied for a blood test and failed. She thinks a quarterback is a refund. She put her phone on airplane mode and threw it, expecting it to fly. She thinks Taco Bell is a Mexican phone company. She is the dumbest woman in the world.
I don't always drink wine, but when I do, I spill it on my fake tits.
Damn, Jeff, that's hard.
Yeah, what's that?
That was hardcore, man. That was really rough. That was really rough. My God.
I'm trying to transfer this over to Zed.
What we have a problem?
Yeah, I think this happened last time.
Do you want to see the most English man in the world, Jeff?
Yeah, let's see the most English.
He thinks seasoning is terrorism. He drinks 9 cups of tea a day and still feels absolutely nothing inside. He's only once been to the dentist office to see if it was a real place. He can't understand a word anybody from the rest of England says, but still insists that American pronunciation is wrong because the language is English. He would rather move houses than tell the bus driver he pressed the stop button by mistake. When he found out his wife was having an affair, he wrote her a strongly worded note. He pronounces garage like he owns a Rolls Royce he can't afford. He wears a 3-piece suit to take out the trash. Pudding is too spicy for him. He brings his own tea bags on international flights. He once waited 40 minutes in the wrong queue just to be polite. When he called the police on an illegal immigrant assaulting a lady, he was arrested instead. He once described oral sex as a cheeky bit of fiddling about. He will correct you when you say soccer, but says things like "ello" instead of "hello." He's had a cold since 2003, but refuses to see a doctor. He pronounces vitamin like it owes him rent. His teeth are considered a UNESCO World Heritage Site. He is the most English man in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, I prefer something warm, bland and slightly disappointing. Stay polite, my friends, even when you're dying inside.
Damn. That's crazy, Jeff. Can't believe that stuff.
So I'm trying to go through this.
So Zed's not getting it, is what I'm hearing.
I'm now in the Zaman app trying to
Doesn't get
go
why it doesn't come through.
non-fungible.
Connect XRP Cafe as well.
An invalid XRP address. I don't think Zed's funded or connected directly to the XRP.cafe.
Do you have XRP in your wallet, Zed? The wallet you provided. Do you have XRP in this wallet? And does it start with the beginning looks right? I don't know if that.
No, I
right.
think it's right. It needs to be connected to. You just have to make sure you're validated, and you've signed the acceptance with the XRP Cafe. So you got to connect your Zaman wallet to the XRP Cafe, and it's weird. I'm trying to go.
Jeez.
I'm trying to go to NFT. It's weird because I'm trying to look in the trying to do it through the X app on Zaman, but it's not letting me do it there either. Normally you can just open this up and we can see our
well, just to play it fair, Jeff, I'm gonna also play the most American man in the world too, just so I don't think we're picking on other people, but here we go.
He thinks portion control is communism. He's never heard of other countries unless they've lost a war to the US. He waters his lawn with Mountain Dew. His idea of an exotic vacation is visiting Disneyland instead of Disney World. When he has a heart attack, he insists on driving himself to the hospital to avoid paying for the ambulance. Foreign countries are always begging for his help. He has 3 kids and they're all trans. His plan for financial independence is taking out payday loans to invest in Fartcoin. He already supports his country's next war. He calls insulin a luxury, but Bud Light a necessity. He thinks European football is gay, because it is. He once won a hot dog eating contest by accident. He actually thinks that the NFL and pro wrestling are real. He makes fun of Canada unless he's traveling, then he's from Canada. He shot down a drone for flying over his barbecue. He uses Ford F-150s as a unit of measurement and doesn't know what a kilometer is. He sleeps with a pillow under his gun. He once deep-fried a bald eagle by accident, called it justice anyway. He is the most American man in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, it's domestic, lukewarm, and wrapped in an American flag. Stay free, stay armed, stay medically uninsured, my patriots.
That's the best.
There you have it, people. All right. I think we're done here. I think our work is done here, Jeff.
Yeah, this
Fartcoin
this
be a good
isn't working.
investment.
What is Zed saying about the connection? Is Zed here?
He was here. I don't know. I think he got bored and left.
Oh, I have also connected to XRP. This is what happened last time. It's weird because it comes up, it says invalid XRP address.
I remember that. We had some issues. That was the last time we won. He couldn't get it to him either. Weird. Very strange.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to go on, trying to figure out, like, and then I'm trying to.
Hey, Scoo. All right.
Well, it's here.
Last time
got
it
it recorded. I don't know what happened last time. I don't know.
I don't know.
We got it
It's
to go through.
something weird happened. I don't know. I don't remember
Here's
that.
what it's saying. I can't.
Expect from me. Top marks. See Wednesday celebration. Out. I love it. You got
celebration. But here's what it says right here: invalid XRP address.
It said that last time. Do you double check the address? Make sure that that's right. Starts with an RBT and ends with a DF1E. So that should be. Hopefully, just do a double check and make sure. Let me pull up his address here. That's the address he gave us. RB, but is it the right address?
RBTA.
but is it the right address? I mean, R always at the R, starts with an R, but I don't know if there's something missing on the.
Yeah.
If you maybe truncated, is there something after the E that looks about right? But
Osmond said I had the same issue. You have to make sure that you're not just connected. Make sure that you're connected, but that you also have to then sign. You have to sign it with the Zaman wallet. So when you connect it, it'll send you. You'll scan the QR code to sign in, and you'll sign in, and then it'll send you something over to your Zaman side of the wallet to where you have to authenticate it. You have to authorize and sign. Once you sign the connection, then then it works. So it's like a two-step. You sign in over here, and then you sign the authentication over on the app, and that completes it, which will be solid. So see if we can get that part done.
All right.
But we've got it set aside here, Zed. So if you want to do that, just ping us. You're on our. Just let us know if you get that part set up, and meanwhile we'll keep sending over, because that's exactly what Osmond had to do when we sent it over to him and said I had to swipe out to sign. Or something like that. Yeah,
right. That's right. You have to
swipe it. You sign it. You swipe it on your app, and then it finishes the connection.
And if
once you do that,
if you had a
signed
password
it again. All right, let me try it. Let's see.
So you'll talk later, Chip.
It'd be weird if it.
Jeff doesn't like it. I talked to him also. See you later. God bless.
What's that?
It's accepted in Zaman, correct?
I
signed it again.
Mike,
okay, there you.
What?
Mike says you don't like him. Chet doesn't like me.
If this works.
I swiped just again.
Let's
So I don't know
refresh. Okay.
But all I know is this.
Try to refresh while we've got you here. Let me try one more time.
We'll get with you if, to see if this can go through. And that's all we know.
My verification is successful. Let me try one more time.
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about doing these giveaways. It just ruins the rest of the last part of the show. Yep, we'll get with you, Zed. We'll do a DMs.
With the DMs, it's the same thing. Invalid. It's very strange. Very strange. But we've got it here. We've got it marked. We've got the guy marked for you, so nobody else gets it.
We have it.
To Zed. Belongs to Zed.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
On the next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.